When the red, red robin comes bobbing along, there'll be no more sobbing when he starts throbbing his old sweet song. Oh, wake up, you sleepyhead. Get up, get out of bed. Cheer up, the sun is live, love, laugh and be happy. What if I've been through? Now I'm walking through fields of flowers. Rain may glisten, but still I listen for hours and hours. I'm just a kid again, doing what I did again, singing a song. When the red, red robin starts bobbing along.
The day that we won was the big day, but I think, you know, at that time we had a consistent team, we had a strong team, we had people who could put the ball in the back of the net, but we built that team over a number of years.
It clicked as a unit. It came up through the youth side, most of the youth team and that.
I think the first game that I can remember was actually in the First Division, in the days of Chelsea and Newcastle United.
It's been 16 years since Bristol last had a football team to represent it at the very highest level of the game. And whilst it's a city that offers so much in terms of industry, commerce and sheer diversity, it remains, oddly, an underachiever when it comes to the country's national sport. So perhaps a timely reminder is required. A reminder that once alight, the West flame can burn as brightly as anyone's. And 20 years ago, here at Ashton Gate, that fire was well and truly lit.
And it is one of the most marvellous moments of my life that we are moving forward.
HTV sports reporter Roger Malone saw it all from the press box. 2 decades on, he still keeps a close eye on the sporting scene in the West. Who better then to fly out to North Carolina and meet up with the man who made it all happen?
OK, Alan, 20 years on since that magic night when you took City up to the top division in England, and you're still at it, still coaching.
I'm enjoying it, yeah. The game is a great game. It's been good to me and I enjoy every moment of it and the people involved in it.
Alan Dix is now the chief coach of the Greensboro Dynamo. Since leaving Ashton Gate, his career has spanned spells as far afield as Greece, Cyprus and Qatar. And there was even a brief abortive spell back in England with Fulham.
Go in, don't look at them, whip it in, keep it down.
The heart of the club was chairman Harry Dolman, and in October 1967 he appointed Alan Dix as manager, flanked here by coaching staff John Sillett and Tony Collins.
What were the basics you looked in building that side? What did you look for?
Well, I always looked for people who wanted to win, and those people who could score goals. Always wanted a goal scorer. And when you think that we had our John Gallis, the Cheesleys, Tommy Riches, you know, we had people there, and a little bit of size as well. The 6-foot strikers against the small one, I would always go with the bigger one. And to be competitive all over the field and want to win, and that's what we had.
These days, Jeff Merrick is still based in Bristol, running a small but successful building company. He made his debut as a 17-year-old at Aston Villa in 1968 and would go on to become the club's promotion sweeper and captain.
There's no other team in the country that I would have wanted to play for. I mean, Bristol City were the team. I mean, I've been there with my father. We'd gone since I was 7 or 8 years old, and to actually be on the staff was something I just couldn't imagine. It was a team of lads. We all enjoyed one another's company. We went out together. We had a lot of ability, and we had time to gel.
Tell me about Alan Dix, because he was the man who took Bristol City up, kept them up during those glory years. What kind of a manager was he?
He was a good manager. He was very sharp, very sharp. We trained very hard. He was very physical. I was captain for 10 or 11 years, but we didn't always see eye to eye. We had our ups and downs. We didn't agree on things.
Another local lad who made good, Chris Garland, grew up watching City play from his council flat overlooking the ground. A key figure in the years leading up to promotion, he was sold to keep the club solvent for a fee of £110,000, the equivalent of £1.5 million today.
When I was first at school, I didn't think I'd ever make it as much as I have at the moment. and I'm very pleased to be where I am.
Garland, sharp, Garland again. Bush. There it is! A magnificent goal by Chris Garland!
Alan Dix was at the club at a fair time before the glory years arrived. What were those years like?
9 seasons, Will. He got the job in 1967, as I said, bottom of second division. It took him 3 or 4 years to keep them up. I mean, it was nip and tuck about relegation, you know, just surviving. Getting some good old pros in to keep them up. And then started to build and find these youngsters. That was the key.
They respected me and I respected their ability. Sometimes we had a few problems when you leave boys out the side, but you had to, as long as you look them in the eye, tell them the truth and get on with it. I think that's the object. I never tried to mislead anybody. You know, I was always honest with them, and we found the way of getting the kind of average player to play well, and they fitted in well with our team pattern.
Now with the Royal Mail in Portishead, Tom Ritchie was one of many teenage recruits from Scottish junior football. He matured into a regular goal scorer in the seasons leading to promotion and became a key figure during those First Division days. Another Scot, Jerry Sweeney, is still with the club, helping to coach the youth team. A £20,000 buy from Morton, he filled the right-back position in the promotion side.
When I first come, Tom was a budding 17-year-old at the time, and he was a great player. His industry was tremendous. He had great ability, good quick feet. He could put the ball in between his feet and wriggle out of tight situations. And he had a great engine. He could get up and down the park. He was tall, he was good in the air.
Ritchie. It's there. Tom Ritchie has scored between the near post and Mike Mahoney. The keeper won't be pleased with that.
The more experienced players, like when I said Jerry, he's a little bit more experienced than us, which helped us now. I mean, there was Jerry, Brian Drysdale that played in the side that really helped us as kids.
Part of the midfield were Jerry Gow and Trevor Tainton, an effective combination. Tainton's passing balanced perfectly by Gow's sometimes fearsome tackling, and his swashbuckling style later earned him a place in Manchester City's FA Cup final team of 1981. Gow was always a great favourite with the fans.
Good cross. Royals got Ritchie behind him. It's a chance for Gow. And it's there. A beautifully worked goal with Jerry Gow getting his first goal of the season.
Goalkeeper Ray Cashley started his career as a full-back in the club's youth team, an inspirational figure who thought nothing of throwing himself at the feet of rampaging strikers. On one occasion, he even found the net himself with a massive goal kick.
Actually, I played in goal a couple of times when one of the other keepers got injured when I was playing on the outside. And anyway, John Sillett then was the coach down here. He asked me if I'd like to try in goal, because they had a few other people trying. And they thought I was the best out of the bunch, so they threw me in at the deep end kind of thing.
John Sillett was a very hard man. In the pre-season training, he really put the players through it. I can remember the players vomiting with the sheer effort of the training had on them, but it made them very strong. And so he could be the hard man, you know, the two detectives, the nice guy and the hard guy. Sillett would be the hard guy, and Alan Dix was the nice guy. And that was a great partnership.
Another favourite with the fans, Keith Beer, now works in the fruit business in Bristol. A player of great individual skill and vision, he challenged for the frontline vacancy when Chris Garland was sold.
My best impression of Alan is when I left Bristol City and saw what other managers were like. You realise then that he was very good. And his strengths were that he would get people organised, he would get them motivated, he had an idea what they wanted, and he built up a camaraderie that made Bristol City want to win.
The boss was unbelievable. I mean, if you look at the money it's about today to what he had then, and the job he did, it's only later years you think, yeah, he'd done a great job. His strengths were he could motivate, he'd let you know when you weren't doing it, but he could also say, you know, he could praise, and it was, you know, it was a good thing in him.